Hello everyone, my name is Malika, I'm 19 years old. I have a funny accent because I'm from Switzerland, my first language is French. I'm studying social work and I hope to be a voice for people struggling with self-harm. So this is part 2 of the video, why do people self-harm? I made the first part a few days ago, so go check it out, it's gonna make much more sense if you see this one first. In the first one I just explained a few basic things, a few warnings about the angle I'm taking on this, so please go see it. I'm gonna try to link it in the cards, I think, if I can just manage to understand how to do that. But it's gonna be linked in the description anyway. So the fifth reason is to distract from emotional pain. Some people just feel very overwhelmed with their feelings, with their situations. Their feelings can be very unbearable or just very uncomfortable. And in this situation, physical pain is just a way of distracting yourself from what's hurting you in the moment. Just put it this way, if you stub your toe on your chair, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna suck, it's a painful thing. But if just 5 minutes later you break your arm, you're gonna be distracted from your pinky hurting and be absorbed by the bigger pain, the more prevalent pain, which is gonna be your broken arm. For a lot of people, physical pain is easier to manage than emotional pain because it's just a more straightforward thing to look after. If you're bleeding, stop the bleeding, put a band-aid on it, and it's good. When you're feeling depressed, what the hell do you do? Do you put a band-aid on your brain? That's not how it works. So a lot of people convert their emotional pain into physical pain because it's easier to manage, but it's also a way of silencing, just numbing out the emotional pain for a while. So if you remember in my last video, I talked about how self-harm could be a way of relieving numbness. Well, it could also be the opposite. It could be to create numbness or to numb some feelings that are just too uncomfortable to deal with. So that's the fifth reason, to distract from emotional pain. So the sixth reason, is that how you pronounce it? Is to make your pain visible. Mental pain, mental anguish, distress is often way more invisible than most physical pain. And that can be very hard for people dealing with a lot of emotional pain because it's not visible from the outside and therefore it can feel as it's not valid, although it completely is. Believe me, your mental pain is valid. But a lot of people just feel like if they can't see the pain, it's not really happening, or it's not valid, or maybe they're imagining it and just attention seeking, which they probably aren't. It can also be a way of making your outside match your inside when you already feel just so poorly on the inside and torn up and wounded on the inside. Self-harm can be a way of making your outside match your inside. So that's the sixth reason, to make your pain visible. So the two last reasons are a bit less common in my opinion, but I still wanted to include them. But don't jump to conclusions that your friend that you just learned is self-harming is doing it because of these two reasons. So just bear that in mind. So the seventh reason I wanted to mention is because of psychosis. Psychosis is basically when you experience things with your senses that aren't there. So most common psychosis symptoms are hearing things that aren't there or seeing things that aren't there. So as you can imagine, psychosis is a very scary thing. It can be very distressing. Sometimes when people have hallucinations, having physical pain is a way of stopping the hallucination from happening. Or it could also be someone from the hallucinations telling you to hurt yourself directly. It can happen. Or it could just be something you're experiencing in your psychosis that is feeding your addiction cycles. So like a voice telling you you're worthless, telling you you're a piece of shit, nobody cares about you. That can really add to why you're self-harming and just make it worse. So that's the 6th reason, and it is because of psychosis. So the last reason I wanted to talk about, so the 8th reason, is to become undesirable. Some people just want to isolate themselves, and a great way of doing that is to become unattractive, is to become scary, is to become just not attractive to everyone else. And by that, having scars, having wounds, is a great way of just distancing yourself from people around you. It's a way of isolating yourself from everyone around you. So that's the 8th reason, to become undesirable. So that's it. I might do a 3rd part if I just realize I've missed out on a bunch of reasons. So please, if I did, just leave them in the comments. Next video is going to be a Q&A for my 2-year anniversary on Instagram. I'm really excited about it, so please, if you want to leave me questions, you can go check my Instagram page. It's the same name, at Self-Harm Problems. It will be linked in the description. And I have a post dedicated to this Q&A, so just go check it out and write a comment or like other people's comments that you want me to answer. So that's it. Until next time, guys, please stay safe, get help, and don't be afraid of being who you are. Bye, guys. This is part 2 of the video. No, not the video. This is part 2 of the series. No, it's not a series. I'm not making much sense, am I? I'm gonna start again. So please, if I have, tell them in the description. No, I always say the description. When people are having psychosis, hallucinations. Is that how you pronounce it? Hallucinations? Hallucinations. I don't know how to pronounce it. And be concentrated. Is that how you say? Concentrated? We're gonna say, yeah, I think it's concentrated. Is it? More easier? No. Easier. Some people just feel very bad and want to, no, what's the word I'm looking for?